Joe, it goes without saying, 16 strikeouts in 7 innings. How impressed were you with Pineda?
I mean, that's as good as we've seen him. I mean, he recorded 21 outs and 16 of them were strikeouts. And he was able to give most of the bullpen a day off today, and we needed that. But, God, he was really good.
You've caught Wells and Cone when they both had 16 strikeout games. Now you watch from the dugout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Live TV. You caught both of them when they had 16 strikeouts. You're in the dugout watching Pineda. What has to go right for a pitcher to have that kind of dominance?
Well, I think it has to be location. I think it has to be outstanding mix of your pitches. Your breaking ball has to be sharp. I thought he used his slider and changeup extremely well today. And he has deception. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to go right to get 16 strikeouts and 21 outs, and he did it today.
Joe, speaking about that deception and watching the Orioles hitters, it seems that there was some frustration, almost like they weren't even always picking up the ball from him. Did you notice that as well?
Yeah, well, I think he has that late life to his fastball, that late cut that sometimes you don't pick it up. And it can be frustrating because it appears to be a ball, and all of a sudden you have the late cut and it ends up a strike.
No one is going to strike out 16 guys in every game, but if he can be that top of the rotation ace, what does that mean for you guys going forward?
Well, I mean, it's big. I mean, anytime you can get a guy to go out there and pitch like that, it's big for your club. And, we need, all our starters to be a part of this, but it's nice to have that guy that can go out and do that.
You've mentioned the past couple of days about how you've liked Beltran's swings and you've seen it coming around. Was today the result of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's swung a lot better in the last 10 days. Since we had that off day in Boston, before Boston, I think he swung the bat a lot better, and we've seen it. And, you just keep riding him out there because it's going to change. And it's no fun when you're going through it, but he's too good of a hitter for it to last.
And it might get overlooked with the way the game ends up being, but Headley's heads-up running play, the ability to take off when the throw goes to third, how
really
important was that?
Really a smart play. You want your base runners to be heads up, and the coach can't always do everything for you, and you got to make some decisions on yourself, and he made a very wise decision.
Chad.
Joe, you all gave up a lot to get Pineda. Is he better now than he was when he showed up? I mean, he's been through a lot to get here, but is he better now?
I think he's more consistent. I think he had the stuff. I don't think his changeup had developed as much, when he was there. But he had the good fastball and he had the good slider. But I would say he's better because I think he's become more consistent in throwing strikes, and he's developed a changeup.
And how does the changeup help him? I mean, obviously he had the slider, but what does the changeup do for him?
When you're going through a lineup, 3 and 4 times, you got to have different pitches you can go to. And sometimes guys hit sliders, and you have to have another off-speed pitch that you can use, and it just gives them a different look.
Reeves.
Joe, you've talked before about Michael's maturity over the last few years. What do you think has led to that since he spent so much time away from the team over the last 3 years?
I think you have a time to reflect about what you're doing and who you are when you're not in the midst of a season. And you're in the midst of fighting to keep your career going because of an injury. I think you have time to reflect. And he was young. I mean, a lot of those guys are just maybe a year out of college when we got him, or still in college. And I know, I wasn't the wisest person at that age either. Not that I am now either, but, I had some growing up to do. And I think that's what you've seen. You've seen him mature.
Right here in the front. Bill.
I assume the pitch count made it an easy decision for you to take him out.
Yes.
It did, but was there anything in the back of your mind knowing the fact that he was 2 away from the club record?
Well, I didn't know that, but I still would have taken him out because of the time of year it is, how young he is, and how important he is to us the rest of the season.
Okay, well, I guess and it also goes to say that it is a different day and age, because apparently Girardi struck out 18 in April, and he threw 138
Yeah,
pitches in that game.
it is, and you got to remember, Michael's coming off a pretty serious injury. I mean, what he had is not something that it's not in the back of my mind in managing him throughout the course of a season. If he doesn't have that injury, maybe it's a different story.
Ryan.
Joe, watching this team play defense now, it's like a completely different team than it was a month ago. It seems you guys haven't made an error in 6 games, I think. Teixeira made that nice play today. Drew just now.
Yeah.
Is there any one thing you can pinpoint that to?
I wish I would have, because I would have made sure it didn't happen the first week. It's hard to say how, when a season starts, what's going to go right and what's going to go wrong in the beginning. Who's going to hit, who's not going to hit. You think about, let's just take, for example, Girardi's spring training. He didn't get too many hits, but he sure got a lot the first month. So it's hard to predict.
Right behind him.
What did you say to Michael when he came in the dugout after the
I just
seventh?
congratulated him, great job. We needed it from him today, and that's what we got.
Anybody else? Danny, sorry.
Just one quick thing. You got the pink shirt. A lot of your guys had the pink bats. It doesn't seem like it's much of an effort for your team to convince guys to buy into the things like that. What can you just say a word on what the whole thing means?
I don't think it's a hard thing for athletes to do, because I think you reflect how important your mothers were to you, and women that go through breast cancer. And I think all of us have probably know someone who's went through it. For me, I watched my sister go through it. And it's difficult. And whatever we can do to bring awareness to it, support it, get rid of this disease, hey, we're all in.